Hey, everybody, welcome back to an all new episode of Let's Talk Lions. Today, I have the absolute honor, the privilege, the joy of having Dose of Dion on the show. Dose of Dion, welcome, my man.
Yo, thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here. I had someone in my chat a couple of days ago. He's like, a little birdie told me you're going to be a Let's Talk Lions. I'm like, I am. They're hyped. I love it. I already see the chat flowing. I'm just excited to get this thing rolling, man.
Yeah, dude, we got Nolan in the house, Lions fan. Dab Addy, I always say your name incorrectly. We got all the guys in the chat. It's great. Yeah, man. Quite frankly, I know we were just talking about this before off air, but I'm going to say it again because it's true. You are truly a Lions legend. You bring forth such positivity and you do it in a way that doesn't sacrifice truth. And that's huge for me. You know, like I love a realistic take. I'm a very realistic individual. And I thought I was positive. And then I started watching your videos and I was like, this guy's got a whole new spin on positivity.
Oh my gosh. Dude, no, I appreciate it. I love your stuff too. Like, you know, I was telling you, man, your stuff is very connected with the audience. And I know why they love your stuff because it is really good. I just pop it on. Like I'll find it on Instagram. And I'm just sitting there and I find myself watching. I'm like, I didn't even know how much time passed, but it connects well. I love it, man. So yeah. I appreciate the intro. I appreciate it.
Dude, of course. Thank you. You're the GOAT. So it's great to have you on the show. Look, man, it's here. I don't know about you, but like it feels like this offseason for me was one of the longest ones almost ever in my life. And I think it's the hype around Campbell. What was it like for you this offseason?
Dude, that's a good point. That might be what it is because it did feel long. It may even go back to last year too because it was kind of like towards the end, the last couple of weeks, we kind of already knew it was kind of a wrap. Yeah. And then it was like, okay, now we just got to get him out. And then once we got fired, but it did feel long, but it's going to feel so good on Sunday. Like, you know what I mean? Like just this week, I was like, man, it's the week of like, we're getting into like weekly stuff now.
I know. Literally, I was writing out like my preview the other night and I'm like, I can't believe I'm writing out week one's preview.
It's nuts.
I can't believe it, you know? And like, I don't know, dude, looking back, I guess I kind of want to roll into this first and foremost, asking you about 2020. Even let's go back further. Matt Patricia getting the head coach job because you started Dose of Dion 2.0. You started your channel 3 years ago, you said?
Yeah, about 2.5, 3. Yeah.
Okay, so did you start it before Patricia was named coach or after?
I said my second channel was like right when we named him as coach.
Okay.
So this new one, what I'm doing right now, is like right when we named him as coach. So it was like the very beginning of the era.
All right. So let me ask you something. When he was first named as coach, there's no shame in the answer, by the way. Okay. There's no shame. Would you say you were hyped? Were you excited? Was it like, okay, here we go? How did you feel when Patricia was first named head coach?
Okay. I've taken my L's for this one, so I'll take them here. But I would say going back to that time, I wasn't really as deep dive into like I knew who other coaching candidates were. I just, okay, we got Patricia. He was with the Patriots. So I was hyped. You know, I was hyped regardless. And then when we went through the seasons with it, you know, it was the first time I was really deep diving into stuff because I was really doing YouTube. So I was really bought in, man. I was trying to figure out everything he was doing. I was like, this is going to work. It's going to happen. It's going to click. And then it never did. So I've taken my L's with it. I thought it would turn around and never did. Yeah. And I'm just like, you know what? It happened, man. It was my first time diving in, but I think it helps because now you know like what to look for when things are going bad. Yeah.
Absolutely. And you know what? It's funny. I'm in the exact same boat. Patricia getting named head coach. I was like, all right, sweet. Here we go. A guy from the Patriots, defensive guru. And then just absolutely like it was a very eye-opening experience. Seeing that happen because, you know, Caldwell before that, two very different people. Right. Gosh, I got to say, the Lions are great at hiring different types of people for the job. It is a slew of strange candidates. But man, no, I think that's very. First of all, we got people in the chat, the two best Lions YouTubers. Let's go. Thank you, T Franchise. Too kind. We got Woodcat, Dose of Dion and Jay in the building. Yo, that's right. Dose of Dion hanging out on the show. It's a good Wednesday. All right, man. So, so like obviously we kind of look back at Patricia coming in. When would you say like throughout his tenure, you were like, all right, this guy's got to go.
Yeah. So it's actually funny. I get messed with this all the time because I had like an autograph Patricia thing. I bought it before his last season. I was like, oh yeah, this is bringing good luck to us. I had it up there, and now it's just like, man, you got to just destroy that thing. I don't even know where it is anymore.
Yeah,
man. I really wanted to believe, man. Like I'm very optimistic, and I'm trying to be as real as possible. But the optimism gets in the way because it's your team. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
2020 was his last. Man, I would say it had have been near towards the end because we got to like that 4-5 mark, and I was like, okay, there's a chance the playoffs were expanded. I was like, you knew he had to get to that spot to keep the job, and I was hoping it would happen. And then it was kind of like, Thanksgiving happened and then the Panthers, and it was like, yeah, this ain't going to go well for him. You hope, but it was like, this just, it can't happen. It ain't going to happen, man. It ain't going to work. Yeah. And when it made a change, it was like, okay, it happened. It had to happen. It was a mess.
Yeah. No, I'm with you, dude. And it's crazy because like I look at Matt Patricia's last year, 2020, this is actually when I started the channel, just Saturday of this past weekend, 1 year ago. And I remember looking at our squad and I was like, this team that we have put together, I really could see us. I could see us having an above 500 record. I thought we were going 10-6, truthfully. Yeah. Looking at Galladay, looking at Matt Stafford, Marvin Jones Jr., TJ Hawkinson, which he proved to be phenomenal, Pro Bowler. DeAndre Swift coming in, didn't know a lot about him, didn't know enough. However, it is wild to look at last year. And I remember being so perplexed halfway through the season. I was like, the coaching is so bad that this very talented team can't get in stride.
Yeah. No, I'm with you there. I mean, especially the defensive side, because it was like, it was just so bad, man. And it was like he did everything. Like he went out, he got all the guys that he knew would fit the defense. So you knew he had to do that. He was trying to save his job. But then it just didn't click. Like nothing. He wasn't able to like adapt anybody, it seemed, to the defense. Only the guys that had any kind of success were his guys. Everybody else just seemed to struggle. It was just a mess on defense. And, with all that talent, we did have a lot of talent. So I was excited for the year too, because I was buying in. I was like, he's going to do it. We're going to get it. He got his guys now, and it just didn't happen, man.
Absolutely. No, man. All right. So, like, you look at it like that, where, Matt Patricia comes in, you have your feelings, you finally figure out, okay, this guy sucks, moving on.
Yep.
How did you feel when the Lions named Dan Campbell as head coach? When you first saw that, what were your initial what was your initial reaction, and where are you now?
I love that question because initially, like, he was definitely not my top. I didn't know a ton about him, but I knew a couple of key things, and this is all I wanted. All I wanted is a guy that had experience doing it. I knew he had that. And there were certain guys that, like, a lot of the media was hot. I just wasn't. Like, I wanted guys with a good background. I wanted guys, that had experience being in the spot. I didn't care if he was a coordinator, honestly. So I saw he wasn't a coordinator. I was perfectly fine with that. I was like, I just want to know that he's been here and done that, because we had that with Patricia. We've had it a lot in the past, but it seems like historically the guys that are successful here, they've done it. They know what they're doing when they come in, and they at least have that background. So that's the part I was excited about. And now I'm pumped for this dude. I mean, after that presser, how could you not be, man?
Yeah.
I'm like, what? This is our coach for real? Like, come on, man. It's exciting, and I'm still super excited.
Yeah. Awesome, dude. No, I love it. I'm in the same, interestingly enough, in the same boat. Like, upon seeing him, I was like, I don't know enough about this guy. I knew he was from New Orleans. Then looking back, seeing his stint as an interim head coach in Miami, there was one thing that I saw, a common thread in him, that got me the most hyped, and it was the fact that the players loved him, that the players respected him, that they said, this guy, like, he's the guy that I want to follow into the trenches. And I think after 3 years, 2.5 years of Matt Patricia, a guy that alienated Darius Slay, Quinn, like, you name it, alienated every one of the guys under him. I just wanted somebody to see guys go to battle for and with. And I think that was one of the key moments for me where I was like, okay, because I was pulling for Doug Peterson.
Yeah, I had, I had no issue with Doug Peterson, actually. A lot of people didn't like it, but I was I could do this.
I agree. I thought Peterson would have been a great choice. I understand a lot of people had a lot of things to say about my take on that, and that's fine. That's fine. Yeah. In the end, very happy with the decision for Dan Campbell, Brad Holmes, because I'll tell you this, Dion. Mm-hmm. In the end, we can't say the phrase "same old Lions" anymore with this regime, because this is a very different take on the Lions.
Yep. Dude, you're right on it. That stuff I learned later because I didn't know a ton about him. But that did bring up a good point, because I remember that I was watching his back when he became the interim head coach of the Dolphins, and he's like, I know how to get the best out of players. I know like everybody needs to be treated differently. I mean, everybody's same. And that was like, dude, okay, he understands people. He's been a coach. We're good to go. You know, we're gonna be all right. He's gonna make it work. I love it, dude. I'm with you there. For those of you in the chat, hey guys, feel free if you want to throw some questions in there. We're happy to take them as we're kind of going through this. We got some obviously. Oh, Lake Erie Bros coming from Dan Shuren, a avid Buffalo Bills fan. That I like. Jack Lee, 2 favorite Lions YouTubers together. It had to happen, and I am so glad that it did. All right, so now, Dion, do you like to go by Joseph Dion, Dose, Dion? What do you like? Ooh, most people call me Dion, but I'll go with Dose.
Okay,
all right. Yeah, I like Dose. It's catchy. I don't know. All
right, so let me ask you there, Dose. Right. What are your expectations for the 2021 Lions? What expectations?
Expectations. Yeah. All right. This is tough. I'm still really trying to take a deep dive into it, but it's hard for me because I'm not with the whole narrative where it's like I don't care what they do in the season. I'm gonna love Dick. Because I mean, you still got to prove things to me. Yeah. I don't want him just to go out there and just look awful every game, and it's like, well, it's Dan Campbell. He's gonna figure it out. No, but I'm also, I'm not expecting anything crazy. I know there's a lot of turnover, there's a lot of change, a lot of new pieces, but I do expect to be competitive, man. I want to be competitive in certain games. One thing that I look for is just adjustments. When we go into a certain game, is our game plan different, or we find a way to stop guys, just flash here and there. And I just want to see him be aggressive, man. Like defensively, I'm expecting to see aggressive play. I'm expecting to see some more turnovers this year, just aggressive and defensive line. And then how well that coming together of Anthony Lynn and Jared Goff goes together. I think it could be really good. I think it'd be really good for both sides. So that come together. Are you asking expectations in terms of record, or
No, I love it, man. Okay. Hey, it's your take on what your expectations are.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, my record, if you want me to give it to you, my record's like my last prediction, I was in the 9-8 range. I know people call me crazy for it, but I like the team more than the outside will, and I probably always will just because I'm biased. I mean, I can't help it, but I like the talent. Like I always felt like, man, there's talent here. Like you said in 2020, there was talent on this roster. I look at the secondary, I'm like, there's so much talent we've invested here. Why can't we get it out of them? Why do we need to keep getting high draft picks and then nothing happens with it? Like just someone needs to come in and pull it out of these guys. And Patricia didn't do that. He didn't pull it out of any of these dudes. I think there's talent in this team, but someone just needs to come in and bring it out of them.
No, I love that, man. That's a great take. I think you're right. The expectations, record aside, it's the coming together and the gelling, the chemistry of this team. The turnover is insane, as you said. Like, today I'm looking at our wide receiver core. 85% is just never played for the Lions and are just here. And so like the 15% is Quintus Cephas. Like that's it. And it's just a wild thought to me to be like, wow, all right. Like Jared Goff at the helm, totally different quarterback. It's going to take some time this Sunday watching this game and being like, wow, okay, 9 is not out.
Yep. Very true.
It's going to be weird. And I love your expectations there. It's hard not to be biased. I'm with you. I always want to, because I'll tell you, I predicted that the Lions lose to San Francisco. I don't want to predict that. That hurts my heart so badly. But when I look at San Francisco's defense, their pass defense being, I think the pass defense is 8th in the NFL and the rush defense is 4th. Otherwise, it's vice versa. Nick Bosa's back. Like there's a lot of elements to it that are very scary. However, I look at the Lions as a whole, the element of surprise. It's a new team under new staff. I think there's less footage on us than San Francisco would want. So that does give us a leg up in that category, but I do think the Lions lose. What about you this week? What do you think?
That's very fair, because actually I was like a couple of days ago, I was like, man, this is going to be really tough. Like if this was not the first game, there's probably a good chance I'm predicting a loss. But the fact that I'm probably also going to the game, it's like I can't predict a loss at a game I'm going to.
You're going to it.
Yeah, how do you even predict the loss when you're going? Like you have to predict the dub there. So I have to go with the win. And this is a good. Well, I'm actually like trying to dive into this right now, just like you have. And I was looking at, I'm going through their offense. How can the Lions stop them? Where their weak spots. I'm actually a little bit more confident after watching their offense. The only thing that scares me is the Lance coming in and out, because like what they did in the preseason, I'm like, oh, that could mess us up.
Yes.
Not too worried about Jimmy G. It's all about that run game.
Right. Absolutely.
But I haven't got to the other side yet, but I got to go with the win, man. I think it's going to be real tight, though.
All right. Hey, listen, I like it. I like that I'm taking the L. You're taking the W. This way, at the end of it, somebody's going to go onto one of our channels and be like, haha, you're
right.
Thanks to everybody being here tonight. Obviously, welcome to Let's Talk Lions. For those of you just joining, my name is Jay. We got Dose of Dion in the building. All of you guys, I see you in the chat. David Q Machine Anderson. Hey, thanks for subscribing, man. To both of us. It means a lot. All right. David. Let's see here. So on this squad in particular, are there any dark horses that you're looking at for the Detroit Lions? You're like, this guy, I think, is going to shine more than expected.
That's good. And you got to give me some after I give a couple, okay?
Okay. That's fair. That's fair.
I'm going to go. Will Harris came to mind right away. I think, I know a lot of people don't
I like
Will
it.
Harris, but I something about the way that Will Harris has played, the energy he's given off. I just like watching him fly around, and I'm like, this is the defense. I see him in preseason getting in the box, making hits. I'm like, this fits. This is what he likes. And I'm liking the safety, just the whole scheme behind it. Maybe that's just because I'm focused in on it. But Will Harris comes to mind. Man, I'm thinking about Jamar Jefferson. I just don't know how many touches he can get, but I'm such a Jamar fan. That was the first shirt I bought of this new team. I was like, I'm getting
no
Jefferson.
way.
Yeah, that was the pick, man. I'm watching back and I was like, this dude's gonna be a stud. And I've had bold claims out there like we won't need to re-sign Jamal after 2 years because Jamar will take it. You know what I'm saying? And I know it's bold, but I like Jamar. It's just how much touches does he get? We know Swift. I'm hoping he's healthy, but if Jamar's to step up, I believe in him.
Sure.
So those are two that come to mind. You give me a couple.
All right, that's fair. That's fair. First of all, I like both of those. I like the Jefferson one specifically. I think is really fascinating because of our running backs room as a whole. The running backs room is truly I'm so excited. We haven't had a good running back room in ever, like ever since Barry Sanders, maybe Reggie Bush. But all in all, first of all, Lions fan, one Paulie LFP. Thanks for the donation, man. Appreciate it. We all the thanks is to Dion, to Dose hanging out tonight. When I look at my dark horse, let me ask you something, Dose. Can you consider Jeff Okudah a dark horse?
Yeah, I'll give you Jeff Okudah because I don't think a lot of people believe in Jefe. You know what I mean? I don't think there's a belief there. So I'll give you that because I don't think enough people believe in what he can do. So I like that one.
All right. I appreciate that because I know some people will be like, oh, no, he was your first pick. I look at his performance last year due to all the problems, everything that happened, terrible coaching, no preseason. I look at him. This is a huge comeback year. And I really think that Jeff Okudah is going to step up to the job under Aubrey Pleasant. I think personally, I just look and I'm like, he's going to do it. He's going to do it. He's going to be able to get out of his own mind. He's my dark horse. Then on the offensive side, I'm going Khalif Raymond.
I like that.
Yeah,
I like that. That's
Khalif
good.
Raymond. He is an animal. Watching him, his speed, the way he's able to get downfield. I went to training camp. You were there too.
I was going to ask you. I'm like, I know you saw him at camp. He stuck out, didn't he?
Oh my goodness gracious, did he ever? He was a joy to watch. And I don't know how tall he is. I want to say 5'11". He just seemed smaller than everybody.
You're right.
And he just looked so fast off the snap. Yeah, I think Khalif Raymond is going to put up some big numbers for us in ways that Danny Amendola did not.
I like that. I like that one because my dad's always like, what jersey should I get? I'm like, Khalif Raymond might be a sleeper, man. I'm like, maybe you should look at Khalif because no one will have it.
Okay.
He's going to be big. I love that pick. That's great.
Thank you. Now, your father, so he's a huge Lions fan.
Oh, gosh. He got me into this, man. This is yep. How about you? How did you become a Lions fan?
Yo, kind of a weird story. I actually grew up in Jersey. And so growing up in Jersey, we didn't have any teams. The closest thing we had were the New York Jets or the New York Giants. However, both of those teams played in our state, yet they're called New York. So a lot of Jersey kids, at least up north, North Jersey kids, were just pissed at the fact that we didn't have a team, especially those. Let me say these words to you. The Jersey Jets. Listen to that ring. Is that not gorgeous?
Yeah,
the Jersey Jets. Well, thank God.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Yeah, thank God they were not in New Jersey, because otherwise I would have a longer, or probably a shorter, more brutal life due to that Gotham green. So I actually ended up meeting my wife, who is from the Detroit area. And when I met her, we were just dating at the time. I moved from New Jersey to Michigan. And then I just looked at this team and I said, you guys are in the slums. I've never had a team. We live in Michigan. This is my home now. I'm going to claim you as mine. And I gave him my heart, and I don't regret it at all.
That's awesome. That's a cool story. I like that. Everybody's got a weird background story. That's a cool one.
Yeah, it's tough because I think people are like, oh, why would you pick the Lions? And I said, no. They picked me. I love an underdog. And I think moving out here and having that experience, like, people don't know. I don't care for Detroit Lions fans, the ones that are bitter, that are like, oh, well, the Lions suck. They always have. They always will. You have a team in your city that you can back, that you can get behind, and that they represent you. And I would have killed for that as a child, and I didn't have that. And so in my adulthood, having the choice to make upon moving here, there's nothing like it.
That's a really good point, man. It's a good point. You know, it's a little bit different for me because I'm not even from Michigan. We just have Cleveland,
no way,
Steelers fans everywhere. So this year I'm in Ohio, so I got all these Browns and Steelers fans. I was like, man, we got to win. I'm not that far, like an hour and a half away, but it's like,
wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, you feel all alone a little bit sometimes, but it's like, man, we just got to beat these teams. I just want to beat Cleveland. Tired of seeing the jerseys. They all come out when they start winning. Where were they?
Yeah, that's. I got a couple Cleveland fans who are here. I don't know if any Cleveland fans are in the chat. Please get in there. Drop your thoughts regarding that. Those are heavy hitting words. Wow, I didn't know you lived in Ohio.
Yeah, live in Ohio. I guess just because of how close we are. I don't know what happened there. I mean, I guess because my dad was a Lions fan, and somehow his mom's a Michigan fan, so we just followed Michigan sports. I love it though. I like it.
Interesting. Yo, man, you know what? It's kind of cool to be a fan away from home and to represent that. Like, to fly that Lions flag. First of all, people out here make fun of me when they see me. I'll go and I'll pick up like a sixer for the game. Literally, I have old men that'll look at me and they're like, "Oh, is that enough to get you through today?" I'm like, I think so.
Oh my gosh, man. Yeah, it's cool. You stand out. You definitely stand out here.
Yeah, no, that's fair. And you know what's weird is, I don't know how often you do come to Michigan. Upon coming here, something to know is, like, I mean, you probably do because you've been here for the games, but like, you know, a diehard Lions fan when you see somebody donning Honolulu blue, because unlike any other place, most other cities I go to, people are all representing. People don't rep the Lions unless they love them. That's
a good point. That's good. I don't know if you saw it, but did you see it at camp, like the Patriots fans? I know 2 days I was there, there's Patriots fans there. I was like, what is going on?
No, I did not see that. I don't. It's
dude caught a signature ball, man. I'm like, why would you even want that ball?
Not a fan of that. No. Not a fan of that. We have 2 donations coming in. One from Wolfster 106. He said, favorite 2 Lion content creators together makes for pure happiness. Wolfster, my guy. This is pure happiness for me. The donation is more than generous, so thank you. And then coming in for 20 bones, I can't pronounce your name. Salvato?
That was pretty cool. Yeah, that was good.
Dynamic duo, 20 bones. Thank you. Capital C is what I'm going to call you. The go. Dynamic duo. That is very kind. More than generous of you guys. You know, the best way that you can support the channel is simply by sharing these videos with your friends or enemies, because either way, they're going to watch it and YouTube's going to be like, sweet, unless they give me the thumbs down, which, you know, it is what it is.
It is what it is, you know? Yeah.
It is what it is. All right, so let me ask you something, Dion. Dos, I don't know how much time you have, but I would love to ask.
I'm good.
First of all, here we go. We got one coming from Sam the Man. He said, Jay, how many games will the Lions win this season? If you missed my prediction video, I go through every single game, but I did say that the Lions only win 6 games this year. And I know that is not a some people told me in the comments how upset they were. And I said, okay, that's fair. You could be upset because I'm upset. I don't want to only win 6. However, This year to me, 2021 is about player development, and it's about this coaching staff coming together and building out a extremely young roster.
Mm-hmm.
Just my opinion. But Dose, if you would kind of give your say, how many games do you think the Lions win this year? I know you said 9-8 earlier this year. What about now?
Yeah, I'm in that boat, man. 9 wins, man. I'm rocking with it. You know, I'm probably gonna be wrong, but it's cool. You know, it's just, and I'm trying to be as honest as can. I just go through it. I'm like, I see 9. There's certain games on there where like people aren't predicting. I see it.
Yeah. And you know what, man? There is a lot of games to me that are toss-ups. I look at San Francisco and I said it's a toss-up. I really think the Lions can win this game. Mm-hmm. I think they lose it. However, it's not out of negativity. It's out of just looking at San Francisco, the defense, our offense coming together for the first time. But I think we could absolutely win the game. Same with games like Philadelphia, Atlanta. There's, the Bears, the Vikings. I think we split, but some of my thoughts. Coming in here, we got Logan. I want to say that does not say oil. I thought it said Logan oil. And I was like, my guy's a mechanic. Logan oi. 5 bones. Dose and Jay. Let's show out, fellas. Thank you, Logan. More than kind of you. All right, let's see here. I had another question for you. Mm-hmm. When you look at Matt Stafford, I know that this is less Lions-oriented, more Stafford-oriented. Is the pressure building too much on Stafford to be Super Bowl or bust?
That's a good question. That's real good. We were talking about this last night. I think there's the way I would do it if I put for what the media sees and what I see. Like I wouldn't put too much because I'm looking at more year 2 would be the year because he's got the next year under his contract. Yeah, maybe the running back situation is better then, and then it'll be a second. I'm like that'll be the year they can go win it. But I do think the media is pushing it. Like they're promoting the heck out of this. Like there's pressure, man. You got to go win, or there's gonna be a lot of hate thrown his way if you're not at least at that game.
Absolutely. No, man. I think the pressure is far too high for Stafford. I think it's boiled over to a point where when I'm reading an article that has the words Stafford and Super Bowl in the same sentence, as a Lions fan, I'm pretty pissed about that, if I'm being honest, because I'm like, hold up. Stafford, if for as much as I love what he was able to do and all that he gave to this city, he did not win us a playoff game, nor a division title in 12 years. And I understand there's so much more. It's not the quarterback's job alone to get it done. That's not what I'm saying. But what I am saying is for him to all of a sudden just move on to LA, to a huge market, and people just be like, Super Bowl. I'm like, have you watched at all over the last 12 years? Because don't get me wrong, Stafford's a phenomenal quarterback, but I don't think it's fair to say that until he wins a division title.
Yeah, he wasn't getting that when he was in Detroit. He didn't get that love when he was here. And all of a sudden now he's the top 10 quarterback, top 6 quarterback. And you're like, where was this before, man? I mean, if you felt like that before, okay. But where is it now?
Right.
It's the same. It's the same guy.
And did you not say it because you would sound insane because it was Detroit?
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely. I mean, I'm a Stafford fan. Yeah. And I thought he was really good when he was here. But I have that same, I view him the same way I did when he as he's going to be with the Rams. I'm not like, oh, shoot, now he's the best in the league. Like, no, I didn't think that when he was here. So now you say it now. Yep.
No, dude, I love it. I'm with you. I think he's the same guy. And I hope the best for Stafford, but I do hope the Rams lose every game. I want those draft picks. I want them. That's just me.
I get it. Yeah, no, it's very fair, man. I get it. Absolutely. Right. I think there's a lot of people in that.
Dose, let me ask you, man, now that the Stafford era is over, how do you feel about Goff? Is he the solution long-term for the Lions, or is he just a bridge QB?
Dang, that's tough. Yeah, that's a real tough question to answer, man. I mean,
It's a tough one.
I think Goff can. I think he can be the future. And I mean, of course, I hope he is, because I don't want to be in that situation where like, oh, draft quarterback, hope you hit one. I think he's so young. I think that's what gets lost is he's 26, man. I mean, just look at the development when Stafford was 26. He was not the same guy.
Yeah.
He was throwing, 15 interceptions at 26. He's a different guy now. And I do think that connection with Anthony Lynn is going to be really good. I think they're going to pair well. I think it's just going to be good for both sides. I think he needs someone that's just going to say, what do you like to do? And not just, we're fitting you into this offense.
Yes.
This is McVay's offense. And it's like, okay, this is nothing I've done in the past, but let's roll with it. So I do think that it'll work that way. And I like the energy he's coming in with, the expectations. You should have your internal expectations like that. So I do definitely think that he could be the future here. I think he can win games. We've seen it. So I think he can be.
Yeah. Hey man, first of all, the chat, they're here for it. Goff is so underrated. In Goff, I believe. In Goff, we trust. We got people that are all on the Goff train. And I'll say this, man. I really think that Goff has more. He has the potential to be here long-term. And I believe that he is our long-term solution. Yeah, maybe I'm going to eat those words in 2 years. But you know what? I'm going out on a limb here. And when I look at Goff and his last 3 or 4 seasons, he's one of 3 QBs with this, what's the stat? It's like over. Oh man, I got to look it up. I don't want to blow the stat, but he is one of 3 active quarterbacks with a stat that it's like more than 20 plus TDs, more than 3,000 yards, and it might be interceptions. Whatever. I'm botching it. All I know is
it's all good.
I look at you know what I'm saying. Yeah. I look at Goff, dude, and I really believe in him. I really do. I think he was undervalued. He just wasn't valued by McVay. Goff has 3 playoff wins. That's 3 more than Stafford. He has 6 playoff appearances. He went to the Super Bowl. Yeah, he lost, but he went to the Super Bowl. He saw the promised land. I look at Goff and I see a future here, especially with our running backs room really growing, really blossoming. Yep. That is where I'm like, hey, the play action with Jared Goff could be good.
Yep. I love it. I love the fit. I do. I mean, he's played in big games, and he's also played well. Like, people overlook like the journey to the Super Bowl, some of the things that he did in those playoff games. Even in the Packers game they lost, he played well in that offense.
Yeah.
Considering the coach was kind of like, we don't even want to play him. Like, he was already going a different direction with Wolford, and he still stepped in and played as well as he could.
Yeah.
And I just don't think the offense was built for him, man. I just think this is our offense. You run it, then it worked. So let's go get a guy that we think fits better. Okay.
Yeah. No, dude. I love that. Absolutely. I think Goff is the long-term solution. Here's an interesting question coming from John Campbell. First of all, hey, man, thanks for the $2 donation. It means a lot. Now we can go get some Big League Chew. Grape flavor, always. Yeah. Who is a mid-season signing you guys want the Lions to get? Well, that's interesting, first and foremost, John, because this season hasn't even started yet. So I don't really know who... John, help me out here in the chat. Is there anybody that you're like, yo, this guy's going to be around mid-season that I really want, that I would love the Lions to look into? Because right now, I'm not really sure who would fall into that category, but I don't want to leave you hanging. So drop it in the chat for me. Moving on from there, I think I saw another. Oh, how will Swift do this year? Do you think Swift puts up over 1,200 yards?
Rushing or total?
Rushing.
No, I can't give him that. I can't. And it's not because I don't think he'll play well. I just think there's going to be such a mix. I can't give him 1,200 rushing. I think scrimmage, absolutely. I think he'll blow it up. Do you? You're on 1,200?
You know what, man? I'm going out on a limb. I'm saying 1,200 yards. I really think he's going to have a dynamite year, especially with Goff at the quarterback helm and Anthony Lynn using him as the OC, Deuce Staley, running backs assistant coach. I'm calling it. I'm saying 1,200 yards rushing. I know it's a wild number, especially last year. He was 521 yards, I think, rushing. So, however, he only played in 12 games. Yep. We have an added game this year, which is where I'm trying to factor in maybe an extra 100 yards. Try to break that. But yeah, that's what I'm going for. Maybe that's ridiculous, but
I like it. I mean, you hate it, man. The coaches, I just love the staff that they brought in. Yes. I mean, dude, like these run game Anthony Lynn's one of the best offensive minds you can get for the run game. And then Deuce, what he's done in Philly. And And that's what I love everywhere. That's why I'm so confident. It's not even just about the roster. It's more I'm confident about the coaches that we have. And I'm like, these are going to be the guys to pull it out of them. Aubrey Pleasant was my favorite coaching hire, man. I'm like,
oh, really?
Yes. What was your favorite coaching hire? Aside from Dan Campbell.
Yeah, aside from Campbell, I'm going to go really with, I would say, Aaron Glenn.
Okay.
Defensively, all that he was able to do in New Orleans and the way, just the guy's mind and the way the players play for him. I look at Aaron Glenn. I think he's my favorite one, specifically because our defense has been so bad. Mm-hmm. I was so focused on our defense. Bro, watching games last year, so the way I watch games, I have the Detroit Lions on the TV. I got my two buddies over every game. Lions on TV, and then down in the corner is the Buffalo Bills playing. Okay. And because my brother is a huge Buffalo Bills fan, so I always watch those games too. But the crazy thing is, like halfway through the season, maybe it switches at halftime depending on how our defense was. The Bills became big and the Lions were little, but my mind was blown watching the Bills defense, specifically 2 years ago, watching a good defense, Dose. Mm-hmm. Watching a good defense that can shut down an offense is one of the most, it was so beautiful. So when we brought in Aaron Glenn and we kicked everybody else to the curb, there was joy in my heart. So I think he was my favorite. I know I took you away from Aubrey Pleasant there, but
I love it. I loved it, man. And the energy he brought in the preseason. And did you like it? I mean, I just felt like there was so much more. The pressure we were bringing pressure. The defensive line were getting after it. And I give some of that to Todd Walsh, but just the scheme, man. And then the energy on the sideline. I think there's going to be more interceptions this year.
Yes.
Is that what you were taking away from the preseason?
Yes. It's okay. Looking at the preseason, I think we didn't get to see Brockers play at all, right? And that one, I can't wait to get a first look at him this Sunday. But yeah, I think the amount of pressure that we're going to actually be able to put on the quarterback will result in interceptions, deflections, all of it. Our linebackers actually being able to pick up in coverage. Thank God Tavai's gone. But I really look at our D-line. I think it all really starts there, in my opinion, and being able to apply the pressure to the quarterback.
Okay. All right. That's what I was taking away too. I was like, I just love all these hires, man. I mean, Wash, he's just a stud with the defensive line. And then, I mean, I don't know a ton about the outside linebacker coach, but we got Capers in here too. I'm like, dude, we're getting some coaches, man. And they just know. Even in the front office, you're getting Dorsey in there. I don't want him to be our GM, but he's helpful.
Absolutely. Hey, Dorsey is so helpful, and having him in there as a voice, as somebody being able to watch, like that's a big pickup. All off season, every time the Lions made a good hire, I was scratching my head. I was like, this is so different. And that's what my buddy said, he's probably 50 at this point. He said his whole life he's lived in Michigan, been a Lions fan. He said, I was just confused with every single hire because I liked them all. And that's not the Lions way.
Right. We usually hire guys that have no idea who they are, or just someone that they know. And it's like, okay.
Just somebody that they know. Bob Quinn. Oh, I got a friend.
Yeah. These guys have proven it elsewhere. And that's what I love.
Absolutely. We got Speakeasy Sports in the chat. Welcome, Speakeasy. Good to see you. I was over on his show last week. For any of you just joining, welcome to Let's Talk Lions. We got a live session with the legend, Dose of Dion. Dude, thank you for coming on today. I really got one more for you. How do you feel defensively as a whole coming into this year based on last year? We were 31st in the pass defense and 28th in the rush defense. Obviously, we just talked a little bit about Aaron Glenn. We talked about Aubrey Pleasant, our secondary D-line. Do you foresee us being able to at least surpass 20th in both of these categories?
Ooh. We're young. We're really young in the back end.
Wow, what? That was a real politician answer.
Right.
Well,
I was like,
we're young.
We are young, but I love the coaches, and I think there's talent back there. And then in the front, I think, Mike, you pressed on Brockers. You're excited to see him. I think Brockers was the, first off, most underrated, but the most impactful addition we made to the defense at all. Yeah. Like, he can stop the run, man, and we need that. I love what they did. Initially, when they were going defensive lineman, I was like, wait, why did we just go back-to-back linemen? And then I see it. I'm like, oh, okay, that makes sense. You know, you have Flowers and Romeo still on the field. It's like, this is cool. Schematically, I like it. I think defensively, we're going to be quicker on top of things than we will offensively. I think defensively, we're actually going to come out a lot faster than the offensive side. So top 20, I'll give you top 20. Yeah. And our record's 9-8, so I have to give you a top 20. We got to be good at some stuff, you know?
Yeah, you gotta.
We got to do
now,
something.
Look, I would be remiss if I didn't ask you, how do you feel about Penei Sewell as right tackle? How do you feel there?
Love the question. I mean, Sewell, you know, he started off slow, but the more I look at guys that have done this, I'm not even super surprised. I think he's going to come out a little slow in the season too. And it's going to be an issue. They just got to figure out how to take care of it. But I think by week 5, week 6, we're going to see it start to click. And it's going to be like, he's got it. I keep pointing to Jedrick Wills, man. He did the same thing with Cleveland. He came out slow and people are worried about it. And then it starts to click. And now this year they're like, man, he looks really good. Just let him lock into a spot, learn it. And I think the long-term benefit's going to be there with this offensive line.
I agree. I think it's going to take literally 5 games for Penei Sewell to be able to be like, okay, everybody. First of all, he sat out. He opted out last year because of COVID. He's playing right tackle. That's opposite side from where he was. Taylor Decker on the left. It's a very different game for him now. And I think it's going to take a couple weeks. And everybody's been nitpicking him so ferociously in the preseason games. And I'm like, hey, it is going to take time, whether you like it or not. It doesn't mean it was a bust of a draft pick. It's going to take time.
Right. Yep. And is that what I guess I'll throw this to you real quick. I mean, when it was draft time, were you a quarterback? Were you hoping for a quarterback? I mean, you said Goff.
No.
You think Goff's the future, so probably not.
No, I was afraid, but was predicting originally. I did like a mock draft. The first one, I said that the Lions would end up taking a wide receiver. I think Jamar Chase, because the Bengals picked Sewell. I think that's what I said. But the Bengals should have picked Sewell. They didn't. And then as we got closer, I think probably like the week before I did a mock draft, and I said the Lions were going to pick Sewell because the Bengals were going to screw it up. They were going to let him through. We were going to snag him, and I love it.
You were on it.
Oh, yeah, but because quite frankly, man, I have seen the amount of pressure put on Stafford and him getting popped. And if you can't protect your QB, then there's no time for the play to develop, right? Your wide receivers, mediocre or not, don't have any time to get downfield, to get into their route and make it happen. There's no time for a play to develop. So I was all aboard the Sewell train. I thought it was the right move. I still do. And I think I'm going to like the move for the next 15 years, 10, 15 years.
I love it, man. Good. I mean, I thought I was going with lineman too. I predicted Slater because I did not think Sewell would fall. You know, as soon as they took Jamar and you saw the pick was in, it was like, it's Sewell. You knew it was Sewell. You're like, okay, they're taking the best offensive lineman. You know they are.
I can't believe Cincinnati did not. That was a mind-blowing moment. Yeah, same old Bengals, as Tony Birchler is saying. It really is. Burrow wanted his friend, and he got him. Hopefully, he's not dead by week 6 when we go up against him.
Right.
Well, look, man, I don't want to take up any more of your time. It means a ton that you came here on the channel. For anybody who is not subscribed to Dose of Dion, first of all, you definitely are, because the whole world is, everybody is. You are a legend in the Lions Den in one pride. But if somebody out here in the chat is not, go check out his stuff. Dose of Dion, best Lions YouTuber there is. I have no problem saying that. You are phenomenal. I love what you do. You're killing it, man. Keep it up. And I hope, man, I hope to do this again sometime soon.
Yes.
This was absolutely great.
Dude, I appreciate it, man. I love what you're doing over here. It's awesome. I love the hat. I know, like, it's your merch, man.
Yeah.
I mean, where is the link in the description? I mean, where do we find those?
It is. I'll hit you up after. I'll shoot you a message. I'll send it to you.
Okay. Hey, we're gonna have you on I want to have you on my show for sure. I mean, this is very welcoming. I love it. It's a very fun time. We'll have to figure out when we can get that, but after week 1, we'll get you on there because I want to have you on the show. Your thoughts. I love it, man.
Deal. Hey, man, this was phenomenal. Thank you again. Everybody in the chat, for those of you who donate, just hanging out with me and Dose means a lot. I appreciate all the love, the support here. Go show Dose some love. Subscribe to his channel if you haven't already. And that is it. And we'll catch you next time here